Good evening and welcome to Accelerate 2024. I created this program because I believe that all of us need to get ready, including myself, which I really did this myself. I actually went through this whole PowerPoint I created for you guys myself like 10 times so I could really share it with you guys and teach it. You know, my mentor Bob Proctor used to say, "You really don't know anything until you can share it with somebody else." Meaning you can educate, like simply share it with somebody else. So, I want to really thank you for being on, and let's get going. Accelerated 2024, and I am excited. The first thing is, I want you to be fired up because you got to be fired up. And I want to talk to you about the things that you have to do. To have, you have to become. If you're taking notes, you have to become. Zig Ziglar says you have to be, do to have. So I took it a little deeper. You have to become. And when you're becoming, you got to be alert. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities in 2024 that we are going to be very amazed at. For example, according to my friends who are getting ready for real estate, they're getting ready for all kinds of real estate, whether it's subject to, wholesale, find, fix, and flip. And of course, rents are going to be solid. So if you can find, fix, and hold. The next thing is you got to expect to win. I want you to start believing that you're going to win even more than you're believing right now. When I first met my mentor, I was not real confident. And he told me, because I was confident years before, I held the AU record for bench press, 400 pounds. If you can have 400 pounds above you, you better be confident, right? I made it to the Olympic trials and in the 100-yard dash, 100 meters. And I had a beautiful voice that I inherited from my mother. And I was confident, and I lost all that confidence when my father lost everything and had heart attacks. And I, was eating tuna out of cans, living in a 200 square foot apartment, and walking to work most of the time because my GTO would break down, my beat up GTO. So I didn't expect to win. So I want you, even if you're having a hard time, and some of us are right now, expect to win. I want you to give yourself, even if the old saying my mentors say, fake it till you make it. So expect to win. Be alert, expect to win, and get ready to take massive action. Don't let anything go by that you can participate in. My mentor, Bob Proctor, used to say to me, if someone says to you, can you do this? Say yes, and then figure it out. That's what he'd say to me. So I want all of you to know that when ideas come to you, when I've got like 5 people approaching me right now with different ideas that I've never done before. And they said, can you help me with this? And I said, yes. And why did I say yes? Because I know that I have a little saying, tell me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. So I want people, I want you to adapt that same mentality, right? Be alert, expect to win, get ready to take massive action. Remember, you got to become, go out and do it to have it. Be, do, to have. You've got to tell yourself that you have infinite potential. You have to visualize yourself. And here's what I want you to do. Create an image of who you wish to become in 2024. Who do you wish to become in 2024? What is that image maker that you want to be? And I want you to take that image and every day see yourself becoming that person. And the way I do it is I take and I put in my hand what I wish to become. And I see myself as, for instance, I sold my home here in Boca Raton, so owning the next home of my dreams. I see my next car, which I'm looking at another Lamborghini Urus that I'm going to get. I see my family succeeding. I see my vacations. I see my succeeding with you, helping all of you reach your goals. So I put that in my hand. I close my fist and I do a swish pattern. It's called a swish pattern. And this is from Brander and Grinder. I didn't make it up. NLP, Neuro Linguistics Programming. And you just do a swish pattern, and you swish that person that you wish to come 5 times, 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. And believe me, it works. So I did it when I was totally flat broke, living in a 200 square foot apartment, eating tuna cans, walking to work, and with no money. And I switched myself to who I wanted to become, and I became that person and more. And so can you. So please, you have infinite potential. You know, I was with Zig Ziglar before he passed away, and he was from Yazoo, Mississippi. That's where he was born. And we were driving, and there was a big bumper sticker on this van in the back, and it says, God don't make no junk. So remember, no one's perfect. There's no one that's perfect, and you have greatness within you. Next, I want you to ask yourself, reflect, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Don't think about just 2024. What do you want to do for the rest of your life? And if you're really young, like some of you are, I want you to think about 1-year goal, 3-year goal, 5-year goals, 10-year goals, and 20-year goals, right? I'll never forget when I was with Tom Hopkins, we were doing one of his boot camps. I was one of his speakers. And this gentleman comes up to Tom and he said, Tom, I'm 78 years old. I just want to be here in 20 years. And he said, Tom goes, write it down. And the whole place started laughing. The guy was, you're right. I'm going to write it down. So he wrote it down. So what are you going to do the rest of your life? It's okay. Look, goals are in constant flux. So don't think that if you set a goal, 1 year, yeah, it will be solid. You could do the 1 year, but when you go 5, 10, 15, 20 years, things will change, right? Things will change. They'll be in constant flux. So make sure you at least set the premise for the goal. But the 1 year, you should go from 1 year, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, weeks, days, hours, and then time block, and then reverse engineer it and go 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, and reverse engineer again. Why? Activity is the key to success. The only way you get results is by activity. So you have to find out what activities you need to do. Now, maybe you're in a company or you're an entrepreneur and you say, oh, Omar, I want to make $300,000 next year, but I don't know what it would take to do that. Find someone who's making $300,000, and if they're preferably they're in your vehicle doing what you want to do, and say, what do you do every day? And then model it. It's called modeling. Next, I want you to create your best tomorrow. How do you do that, Omar? Well, you have to add dimension to your life. All right. My mentor, Jim Rohn, used to say to me, take from the day, don't go through the day. Take from the day, don't go through the day. What did he mean? He meant you need to take a bite out of the day. Don't just let a day go by. And when you do that, you're going to add dimension to your life, and you'll create a come from life rather than a get to life. A come from life is followers, people that just follow people around. Look, don't be a follower, be a leader. Even with my information, take my information and lead yourself with it. You don't have to follow anybody. You lead yourself, creating a come from life rather than a get to life. Also, Jim Rohn used to say to me, Omar, if the vision is clear, the price is well worth it. If the vision is clear, the price is well worth it. So you have to create a vision that's so clear that you're willing to pay the price. Because whatever you did this year will not get you to where you want to go 2024. So if the vision is clear, the prices were worth it, get on it, get on it. Next, can I change and become more? Yes, you can. Anyone can change. Let me take you through the process of change. Here's how you change. First, make the decision that you want to change. I want you to say to yourself, I want more. I want more. And it doesn't have to be money. I want more health. I want more spirituality. I want more happiness. I want more wealth, whatever it is. And whatever it is, want more, right? Just want more. And it's very important you make a decision that you are ready to go, ready to go. All right. Now, how do you do that, Omar? Well, first of all, is to change your attitude. Change your attitude, right? So how do you do that, Omar? Well, the moment you wake up with an attitude of gratitude. Wake up with an attitude of gratitude when you wake up. Tell yourself, no matter how tough it is, be grateful for whatever you do have. And I know for some of you it's tough, but look, there's always someone else that's got it worse. So you got to just be grateful for what you have and tell yourself, I'm going to change my attitude. I'm going to change myself to become better. So 2024 becomes my best year. Next, think. I want you to sit there and start thinking more. And for those of you that think too much, know when to turn it off. But I want you to learn to think more. How do you learn to think more, Omar? Awareness. Awareness is the first key to thinking. So if you're doing something that, let me give you an example. Let's say you were asked to give a speech once in your school and you froze, right? Like, I'll never forget the first time I gave a speech. It was in front of 400 people and I was introduced and my body stood up and my mind sat down. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot everything. But I didn't forget it. Thank God Mr. Murphy was there and he pulled me over. He says, hey, you know this, go do it. So I went out and knocked it out of the ballpark. However, I did it was a 4-hour talk. I was done in 45 minutes, but I was able to take questions. So, but the first thing is, whenever I felt that way later in life, whether I be singing in the opera or having to speak in front of a group, I would be aware that I felt that, and I wouldn't let that emotion come into my head again. So the first thing is to be positive, then be aware of the emotion. The emotion was fear, and I then thought I'm not going to be like that. So I had to change and say, look, that was yesterday, that was then, now is today. And I want you to think from today on, from this moment on. The past is nothing but a bucket of ashes. If we were going camping and you said, Omar, you're responsible for the fire, and I showed up at the campgrounds with 2 big buckets of ashes, what would you say to me? Hey, Omar, what are you doing? We can't start a fire with that, and neither can you. So what you want to do is, whatever happened 2023, let it go. 2022, let it go. 2021, let it go. From your past, let it go. Here's what you do with the past. Learn something from it. Up until then, I did it this way. From this moment on, I'm going to do it that way. So learn something from what happened to you, good or bad, by the way. Next, remember, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results, right? And they say that's insanity. So we don't want to do that. We want to change. So how are we going to do that, Omar? If you change, everything will change for you. Every change makes a difference. I want you to hear from me. Brian Tracy pulled me over when I was 19 years old, and I am 67 years old now, guys. So I should say 67 years young. And Brian Tracy pulled me over when I was 19, and he said, Omar, if you change, everything will change, but I want you to realize that every change makes a difference because it is a domino effect. For everything you improve, you will improve in other areas of your life. He said, Omar, you will become even better if you do listen to me at taking your laundry to the laundromat or the dry cleaners. He said, because every change will make something more of you. Listen to me. Every change will make something more of you. By the way, if it's negative change, it can make something worse of you. So I want you, when we're talking about these things, I want you to think about positive change, right? Positive change. And then I must commit to continuous and never-ending improvement. Every one of you that's on this call has my audios. You should be listening to them. The greatest gift, from zero to wealth, premeditated success, success blueprint. And then if you're in sales, investigative selling, effective negotiations, just keep going through all the lists. And remember, if you go through it once, research shows you retain 6% retention. If you go through it 6 times, you retain 62% retention. I went through it 1,000 times because I thought I gotta get this, because the only way you can teach it is by knowing it. And then when you teach it to someone, that's when you really know it. Next, gotta have an understanding of what you want. What do you want for 2024? I told you before, go from 1 year, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, weeks, days, hours, and then reverse engineer your goals. What do you want? But the first key is most people don't know what they want. So I want you to understand that you got to reflect. My mentor, Jim Rohn, told me at the end of the year, you should reflect for a weekend. Just reflect and have a pad and paper. Some of you type faster than you write. I use the old pad and paper, all right? And I write down things and I reflect on all areas of my life, whether it's you guys, whether it's speaking, mentoring, writing books, writing audios, creating manuals for people, helping my mentees, if it's community, if it's church, temple, whatever it is for you, if it's family, if it's anything that you're working on, make sure you understand you got to set a goal for each one and write it down. Write it down. And you've heard the research from different places like Harvard and Yale that the people that write it down after 10 years had 100 times more success than the people that did not write it down. So make sure you write it down, right? Next, to enjoy a new life, you need to understand yourself. What tools do you need to work on? Some of you are good at time management. Some of you are not. Maybe you need to work on time blocking, activity, managing your state, right? Some of you are good at sales. Some of you are not. Then you need to master the law of influence. Some of you are leading a team, but you're not very good at it. You have to work on leading a team. Whatever it is that you need to do, you need to understand yourself and the secrets of success. I'm going to share with you those secrets with you for the next hour. So there won't be no secrets. All right, let's get into it. First, the first thing you must learn is that it begins with faith and belief. You got to have faith that you can do whatever it is you're setting your sights on in 2024. Got to have faith. And you got to believe you can do it. And if you're not feeling confident right now, work on your self-esteem, work on your self-image, to work on your confidence so you have belief. Faith and belief is the first key to success. Then you need desire. You need desire. You have to have desire and a willingness to act. You need desire and a willingness to act, okay? Next, you got to think about what does success mean to you. So you have to define your dream of success. We're all different. Some of us want money. Some of us want health. Some of us want a partner. Some of us want, friends. Some of us want community. Whatever it is, you got to define success. And the best definition I could give you of success is this one. Success is the continuous journey towards the progressive realization of predetermined worthwhile goals. Success is a continuous journey towards the progressive realization of predetermined worthwhile goals. Very important, very important. And let's break it down. It's a continuous journey, means it never ends, towards a progressive realization, something that you're doing. Remember, action without results leads to disillusion, disappointment, and wanting to quit. So there's got to be a realization of your goal, meaning you're moving towards it, of a predetermined something you've determined, and it's got to be worthwhile, something that gets you up in the morning, keeps you going through the day, and drives you into the evening. Next, the mind success connection. Remember, the mind is the steering wheel of the body. The mind is the steering wheel of the body. So whatever the mind is thinking, the conscious, subconscious mind, the body will follow. So let's talk about that. What do you really want? You know, it's funny. I go into places and I'll be at an ice cream place, let's say with my kids, and I'll walk in and there'll be like a line in front of us and they're like staring at the menu and they're looking around and the people are asking, are you ready? And they're like, no, not yet. No, not yet. How about you, sir? I'm ready. I know what I want when I walk in there. All right. I want Rocky Road. That's what I was thinking about the whole time walking over there. I want Rocky Road chocolate, marshmallows, and nuts. Rocky Road tonight. Okay. Whenever I go somewhere, I know what I want and I order it right away. So never do anything for reasons, always do it for a purpose. Why am I doing what I'm doing tonight? Every one of you know I don't need to do this. I do this because I want to help you. My purpose is to help you. So you must set potent goals that have structure. So what is structure? Structure is defined as a goal with purpose, a goal with purpose, right? The only reason a goal is set is to get a result. So it has to have structure. Next, zero to wealth, how to create wealth. I'm going to show you how to do that. First, you got to have strong enough purpose. What is your why? Why do you do what you do? Why do I do what I do? All right. I do it to take care of you guys, help you out. I do it to take care of my kids. I do it to take care of my community. I do it to take care of my mentees. I do it to all of this stuff. I do that. That's my purpose. That's my purpose. Next, become the expert at whatever you do. Now, don't expect to be the expert right away. The way to become an expert is, number one, find something you love. Number two, make sure that you're interested in it. Make sure that you're curious about it, and make sure that you're seeking knowledge about it, because that's how you become an expert advisor. Interest, curiosity, seeking knowledge. Next, don't forget the laws of influence. If you're not mastering the laws of influence or persuasion, you're in trouble. And I hear people say, I don't want to be a salesperson. You're not a salesperson. You're sharing with people. And when two people meet, the people that has the most mastery of the laws of influence and persuasion will take over the conversation by asking questions. So master the laws of influence and persuasion. And last but not least, create successful daily rituals. All right. So successful daily rituals. For me, successful daily rituals go like this. Number one, get up in the morning, attitude of gratitude, prayer, get my coffee, have my handful of almonds, go work out, finish my workout, come back, eat my oatmeal, get in the shower, get ready. And then I start working and I have time blocking. I work with students, mentees certain times, and then I work with my staff, and then I work on getting more events, more businesses to mentor, more individuals to mentor, and then I take a break, and then I really focus on meditation and prayer, and then I go back and I work a little longer, and then I'm ready to go. All right. So it's very important that you realize that you have to have successful daily rituals every day. Create the successful daily rituals of successful men and women. So let's talk about your goals for 2024. What do you want? If you already know, write it down. What do you want? What is it you truly want in your hearts of hearts? What do you really want? Now, remember, I'm going to show you. And by the way, if you have premeditated success or success blueprint, listen to both of them. Premeditated success, let me break it down for you. The first thing you need is a day of change. You got to tell yourself, I've had it. I've had it. I have had it. A day of change. I have had it. I have had it. So you got to tell yourself, I have had it. right? Tells yourself you've had it. So the day of change, right? Next, you got to find your purpose. We talked about that. Finding your purpose. Find your purpose. Find your purpose. That's your why. Find your why. Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you continue to work? Why do you do the things that you do? Next, turn your dreams into realities. Now, how do you do that, Omar? Turn your purpose into goals. Turn your goals into mini missions. What does that mean, Omar? Well, you should have mini missions to hit different goals. And what mini missions do is they give you milestones to stay on track so you manage the activities that you need to succeed, to become successful. Next, create a strategic plan. I don't mean a simple plan. I mean detailed. I want details. If you say to me, I want to make 100 grand this year, 2024, and you're in my health club business, you know that my people have to make 100 phone calls to get 10 people to show up to close one if you're new, right? So I'll give you the magic numbers. My people have to make 100 contacts a month to get 10 sales, to get 5 referrals. That equals $10,000 a month. So no matter what, you're going to hit that 10K. You're going to hit that 10K a month and hit 100 grand to 120 grand. Okay. Next, take massive action. You got to do that. That's to learn to work smarter and harder at first, but then later on work smarter and not so harder. So it's funny because when I started out, I worked so hard. In fact, I was telling someone I didn't take a day off for 3 years. Why? I wanted to be somebody. So I got into self-development. Every day I listened to Tom Hopkins, Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, Dr. Joseph Murphy, Zig Ziglar, you name it, Dennis Waitley, Brian Tracy, and I just kept listening over and over. Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie. I just kept going over and over and over for 3 years. Every day I'd get up for 1 hour and listen to one of them. And it changed my mind. I couldn't help to succeed. I had to succeed because I was being driven by positive messages every day for an hour. And those tapes kept playing in my mind, right? You become what you think about most. Thoughts are things. You become what you think about most, right? I was driven, right? So that's what I want you to do. But look, you may not want to become a multimillionaire. You may want to pay your bills off. What's wrong with that? Right? Whatever it is, it's your goal. Whatever it is, drive yourself to that point where you are where you want to be, so you are happy, healthy, spiritual, and wealthy. So it's very important. It's your goal. I want you to do it for you and your loved ones, okay? Or for you. Some of you are doing it for you at first. Next, stay focused. Stuff's going to happen. Shit will happen, guys. Stay focused. Every goal is in constant flux. Things happen. Things don't always go the way they're supposed to. So let me do a little recap. Find your purpose. That's your why. Turn your dreams into your realities. That's your what. Create a strategic plan. That's your when. Stay focused. That's you're strong and flexible. And then master condition patterns for success. If you do this little program that I created for you for this hour, if you repeat this for the next 21 days or the next month, I guarantee you will have a better 2024 than you would if you only listened to it once tonight. All right. So there it is, guys. If I could show you how to do that, what would that be worth you? Right. So remember, define your dream, be specific, have a burning desire, a willingness to act, write it down. Don't base your goals on what you did 2023. Base your goals on what you want 2024, because what you focus on expands. always fine tune it, monitoring your results, and be persistent. Be persistent. Next, here's the goals you want to work on. For me, it's spiritual, number one, intellect, number two, emotions. You got to work on your emotions, guys. Some of us are a mess. We got to let our emotions control our emotions. No one has a perfect life. Physical, to get rich and sick is stupid. So, like Jim Rohn said, work on treating your body like a temple, not a woodshed. You only get one body. Treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. Career, entrepreneurship, right? Family, and then don't forget financial. It's financial independence, financial freedom is the goal. And what is that, Omar? Financial independence, to me, my definition of financial independence is to be able to work, be able to live off your multiple streams of income, not working. If you're able to live like I can if I want to, by my multiple streams of income, then you are financially independent. And that's what you should all strive for. Do I still work? Yes. I do 3 to 5 speeches a month. I have mentees. I mentor companies. Why? I love it. And by the way, someone asked me, why do you do what you do? I do what I do because I had a lot of people invest their life into my life, and I feel it would be terrible if I didn't continue to invest my life into your life, because I have a lot to offer, to give, and I want to share with you so you can have a more better life, right? Next, remember, it's not where you are in 2023, it's where you're going in 2024. So that's what's important. I want you to reflect. You got 2 weeks to reflect. January 1st will be here in 2 weeks, guys. You got to be ready. Got to be ready. Let's be ready. Next, got to dare to dream, visualize. And if some of you have premeditated success, go to the visualization script. It's amazing. Not because I wrote it with Mr. Murphy, but it really is amazing. And I even wrote visualization with music for you also. And then I created a music so you could create your own visualization. Next, get rid of your old negative dreams. Get rid of anything that holds you back. Anything that's negative in your life, eliminate it. And that might be people. And if they live in your house, that's a problem. So make sure you eliminate anything that's negative in your life. Anything. Now, sometimes you're stuck in stuff for a little bit. Just don't dwell on it, right? When you have to deal with it, deal with it. The rest of the time, throw it away. Until it comes back, throw it away. Start a new paradigm. It's Stephen Covey said, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a new paradigm. Next, make your goal a whole new way of life. I want you, when you go to sleep, to dream about it. I want you, when you wake up, to pray about it. I want you, when you're walking around, to daydream about it. I want you to write your top 3 goals and put it in the back of a 3x5 card, or if you have a business card, put it there. And I want you to look at it in the morning, at lunch, and in the evening. And I want you to visualize yourself owning those goals and being in the present with that goal and in the future with that goal. Forget the past. The past is crap. And if you attract more crap, you will bring more crap into your life. Don't do it. You'll become a crap magnet. And you know who I'm talking about. There's people out there that are crap magnets, and we don't want to do that. Next, is my goal worthy of me? That's how I think, because success to me is connected to action. So I set tiny goals, small goals, medium goals, regular goals, large goals, and huge goals, right? And I want you to really set goals that you can achieve, and then I want you to set outrageous goals. So goals that are achievable, and then outrageous goals. Next, you must have a goal that has more power. Set potent goals. You know, I think that a lot of us set weak goals. Set goals that drive you. Set goals that make you push yourself. Set goals that take you to another level. You've got to set goals that take you to the next step. Don't set goals that are easy, right? Don't join an easy crowd. Join an inspired crowd. Don't join the easy crowd. Join the inspired crowd. And when you do, everything will change for you. All right. Next, your goals should scare you and excite you. Bob Proctor taught me this. I love this. Your goals should scare you and excite you. Because if they're not, you're not going to get up in the morning with a little skip in your step. You're going to get up and go, oh, God, good God, it's morning, instead of thank God it's morning. You'll be going, good God, it's morning, right? You thank God it's morning. And it should scare you and excite you. So what do you want? One of the things that my mentor said to me, I do the speeches for Nova Southeastern Universities when I pass out the diplomas, and I don't have a degree, guys. 8,000 people, and I pass out 800 diplomas. So I am the speaker, the keynote for them. And I always say to Dr. Pulliam, why am I the keynote for this speech that's bringing graduates into this new world? And he says, Omar, you're the best at explaining how to go from vision, crossing the bridge, to acquisition. So want more, okay? I want you to want more in 2024. And it doesn't have to be material things. It could be, going on a staycation, going hiking, going swimming, doing something you haven't done in a long time that you've been wanting to do. Start out with small goals, tiny goals, small goals, medium goals, regular goals, big goals, and then huge goals, right? Don't short yourself. So what you know and what you do with what you know makes a big difference. So what I want you to do is whatever you're doing, whether it's real estate, mortgage, construction, AI, whatever you're doing, I want you to apply what you are learning and what you are doing every day so you are hands-on, whether it's sales, whether it's online, whatever it is, apply yourself every day so you feel good about the day because you're moving towards your success, what you want, all right? Next, what you do controls your results. So I told you, time block, activity block, manage it all, go to the next level, be persistent. Don't quit if you get knocked down a few times. Learn to fail forward faster. If you get your ass kicked, get up. Comeback power, right? Comeback power. My dear friend Les Brown says you got to be hungry. Got to be hungry. Got to have comeback power. So you got to have comeback power. Without that, you're like everybody else. If you don't have comeback power, if you're not hungry, you're like everybody else. The 95%ers that are walking around going, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. You didn't do what you needed to do to make things happen. And that's why you're in the 90%, 95 percentile. I want you to be in the 5%. The people that are enjoying their life. Why? They found something they want to do. They become better at it. They become great at it. And now they make the income they wish for. And they reach the goals, spiritual health, happiness, and wealth that they wanted to because they didn't settle. They didn't become part of the 95% club. They became part of the 5% club. And then if you get lucky enough to be like me, you can be in the 1% club. 1% club, which is where the real fun is. And when I say fun, I mean spiritual health, happiness, and wealth. That's where it is. Willing to do whatever you want to do, when you want to do it, with whomever you want to do it, or not do it, right? Which leads me to another thing. Learn to say no. Learn to say no to people, right? Make sure you say no to people. And if you're, a lot of us say yes to everything, we don't get ourselves. Put yourself first. I know that sounds selfish, but if you want to be successful, life is a do-it-yourself project. So you got to put yourself first. And then once you get the ball rolling, you can bring everybody else in. How many of you have ever had an opportunity to do something great and you bring it to your friends and family and they say to you, Omar, I remember when you tried that other business and it didn't quite work out for you. And yeah, you really shouldn't do it again. I've been thinking about it. And you're like, no, this is it. I found the right vehicle and I studied and I'm ready. And you're like, nah, So now you say, you know what? Do it yourself. Life is a do it yourself project. Go do it, knock it out. When you start looking different, your attitude's different. They see you with nice things. They're going to go, what's Omar doing? Now they want to get on board. Now let them in. But life is a do it yourself project. Okay. Next, what is the one quality high successful people have? There's one thing that will separate you from the 95%. Remember, whenever you're in a room, when you go to these Christmas parties and you go to parties or networkings during the holidays, remember, out of the 100% of the people that are in that room, 95% are in the 95%. You want to be in the 5%, and more than that, you want to be in the 1%. So what is the one quality that highly successful men and women have that are in that 5%? It's called the common denominator. They all have it. Creating an extraordinary life. They ask themselves the right questions. They don't say, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? They don't say, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? They say, who's going to do what, when, how much, and how fast? Who's going to do what, when, how much, and how fast? That's the questions they ask themselves. Every moment of the day, every second of the day, every millisecond of the day, that's what they ask. Who's going to do what, when, how much, and how fast? Not, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? Wah. I was having a pity party when I started. It was awful, right? Who's going to do what, when, how much, how fast, right? And remember, the number one thing that separates successful men and women, if you want to be in the top 5% of the world, like I'm in the top 1%, if you want to be in the top 5% and in the top 1%, you need this word, discipline. It's my favorite word. The ability to give yourself a command and follow it. Discipline. The ability to give yourself a command and follow it. Most people are not able to do that. The ability to give yourself a command and follow it. Discipline. Now, guys, it's the end of the year, and there it is, the ability to give yourself a command and follow it. I am looking to help a couple people. I'm looking for 2 mentees, and I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you ready to commit for 2024? Say yes. Are you ready to go to the next level? Say yes. Are you ready to experience massive growth? Say yes. Are you ready to take massive action? Say yes. So if you are, and you want to work with me one-on-one, here's how it works. You work with me one-on-one every week, 1 hour with me, one-on-one. You get another library. You get to work with me one-on-one. We sit down, we lay out your goals, we create strategies. Every week, we create activities. Every week, there's 3 programs, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. So you can do 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. If you are interested, which you all should be, because I make it very reasonable, my commitment to you to mentor you, go to omarperiu@gmail.com and say, I want to be mentored, Omar. omarperiu@gmail.com. I want to be mentored, Omar. Help me achieve my goal. What I will do, a mentor, as my mentors did for me, will save you time, which is what? Money. Will get you there faster. Will also help you avoid pitfalls. I work with every aspect, whether it's roofers, construction, real estate, mortgages, IT, motion machines, energy drinks, social media, you name it. I work with every sales organization you can dream of: Oracle, Motorola, Zep Manufacturing, Microsoft, you name it. I work with them. If you want someone like me, with my knowledge, my background of 28 books, 44 audios on Audible, Teachable, iTunes, CD Baby, etc., and multiple successful businesses, go to omarperiu@gmail.com and say, I want to be mentored by Omar one-on-one. And we will set up a time to talk about 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. There is an investment, but I make it very reasonable for you, and I'm here to help you. And I do that because I want to help you go to the next level. So what I'd like to do now is I'll stop the recording, EB, and I'll take questions.